Football Rivera bite. I hear his foot's all right. Of course, it all depends if it red last night. I know it's Valentine.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to the Derby Bar and Grill. This is another edition of Handicapper's Corner. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, May the 4th races at Hastings. We do have 8 races on tap. It should be a great day.
May 4th, hopefully you've shaken off the Kentucky Derby hangover. You still got that mint julep taste in your mouth. They've put together a very nice card for the for the hangover day after the Derby. We have 8 races on tap. The feature, as we were just talking about, allowance race for older boys, shapes up like a steak with tough horses in there like Commander, Wildcat, etc.
The ones that ducked title contender, and that was a tough opening stake.
They get to tackle Commander and Wildcat,
mind you, it didn't come up easy, and it should be a good feature. That'll be in race number 7. We'll get on to race number 1. This will be a $4,000 claimer. Non-winners of 2, going 6 panels. Only 5 in here. I went to the 3-horse Castrati. I thought the form was pretty good on this horse last year. Pretty consistent hide. Frank Fuentes rides, good work tab. That was enough for me to land on him. Not a lot in here. Castrati to win it, put rolling in the aisles for second. Horse that had some, kind of got it all together towards the end of the year and was getting better, and work tab good for Phil Hall, and I put the one hand in for third. Nothing clever in this race. I didn't have a wise guy horse in here. I went 3, 2, and 1.
I got the same horses. I just swapped around. I went 1, 2, 3. I put Hanrahan on top, even though he wasn't running exceptionally well at Turf Paradise. He was running.
Yeah, I haven't seen him run.
That's what gives him the edge, just being race fit. Even though Mike Anderson definitely knows how to have one ready, I gave the nod to Hanrahan. Put rolling in the aisle second. Phil Hall, another one. This horse, talk about consistent, right? Always seems to hit the board. And Castrati, your horse, your top horse, for the reasons you mentioned, in the 3rd spot. I got 1, 2, 3 to start off the day. On to the second race, claiming 5,000 for fillies and mares. A wide open 5,000. I went to the number 6, Scopa. Never got a win last year, but she's always just seems to be tough. She always hits the money. Her works look pretty good this year. I like that 35 and 2 the other day. Maybe she's on her toes. Good old Scopa, consistent old mare. I put her on top. Second spot, I put Maida Vale out of the Jim Brown barn. He tracks Amadeo Perez. Amadeo won 2 opening day. He's off and running. He's going to have another strong meet here. And the 3rd spot, Golden Ratio. Filly that, another, look at her 6, 7, 14 times in the money there, 21, 27 times in the money. She's super tough. I got her in the 3rd spot, 6, 5, 4, claiming 5,000 open mares, second race.
Yeah, I went to the 5-horse Maida Vale. I don't see a pile of speed in here. I think the 1-horse Susan's Luck is going to go to the front, and I think the 5-horse Maida Vale is going to sit just off of her flank. You got 2 Jim Brown runners on the head end.
Try and run her down, yeah.
Amadeo, I'm sure, had his choice between the 2 runners, and he's on perhaps what the barn thinks is the liver one. So I'm going to go to Maida Vale to win it. I put the Susan's Luck in for second. She's been working well. It's kind of surprised to see her surface for 4,500 after, pretty spectacular works.
Yeah.
But I put her in for second, and I put the 4-horse Golden Ratio in for third. A mare that runs well fresh. Rob Scott owns the horse, and Charlie Miller will be the new trainer this year. Work tab's been very nice, and Richard Hamilton should suit her. Should get a nice spot in behind the leaders. I'm just worried that there isn't going to be a big pace on up front to make her a winner. That's why I put her in the 3rd spot. I went 5, 1, and 4 in the Sunday second. On to the 3rd race. Got fillies and mares here. Non-winners of 4 lifetime for 5 Gs, going 6 panels. I like the 2-horse Victoria's Spirit. I didn't see any speed in here at all. And I think Victoria's Spirit just shoots off to the front and plays Catch Me If You Can under Frank Fuentes. Works are good for Pedro. This horse was claimed in its final start last year and seems to be going well enough. And Victoria's Spirit ran against some better horses last year as well.
Yeah, she did.
And was...
whenever she went down to this level, she was tough.
Yeah. This seemed to be, got a little more class maybe than some of these. So I like her to win it. Put the 3 Miss Heatheridge, who, when she's on her game, she runs really well. She won 2 of her last 5 starts last year, and was going very well. And I like her a lot. I think if the 2-horse Victoria's Spirit doesn't win, then Miss Heatheridge will be the one that grabs the cash. And I put the 5-horse Remembering When in for third. Joe Steiner rides.
Okay there, Michael?
Yeah, I'll be okay. For Alex Murray, works. She was always a good work filly.
Yep.
And not surprising to see the works are quite flashy again this spring. But had a run at Portland, didn't care for that track. It's back to Hastings and freshened up. with the nice. I like fillies that are freshened up a bit with nice works, and sometimes they run their A race because she too is a little bit better than a $5,000 mare on her best day, and we'll see if it is her best day. I went 2, 3, and 5, but I just think the speed of the 2 Victoria's Spirit will make her very dangerous.
I went with the 6 Uniqua, another Steve
You had
Henson
a
horse.
contract with Steve Henson?
Yes, I'm
You
all
picked
over Steve Henson.
6
It's Sunday,
the first 2
right?
weeks.
Yeah. I know, I've been picking a bunch of his. Well, because I've been going with horses who've been running.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
takes
they're
his
Phoenix
horses
horses,
away
yeah.
to Phoenix. And that is an angle that I really like this time of year. As you saw, like a horse like Hollywood Miss, a horse that was running,
They're ready.
wins the race, right? You can't, no matter how...
It's an edge, big edge.
No matter how well you're training them and as fit as you think you have them, it's not race fit. These horses come in race fit, I think, are tougher. So I went with Uniqua. She's always been tough. This is a non-4 category. So obviously they don't have those in Phoenix. She was running in like $3,000 a year in that. And there's some tough old mares down there.
You can hook tough horses because there's non-winners in 6 months. It's just a number. So they could have won 16 races.
Just a cycle, that you keep coming into. Yeah. So to get into a non-4, I think Unique will be super tough in here. She gets Amadeo Perez. That's another guy I'm picking a lot, is Amadeo Perez.
That's not a bad
put her on top. I put Victoria's Spirit for the reasons you mentioned. Pedro Alvarado, his first year of training last year, did a bang-up job. Coming into a second year of training, got Victoria's Spirit with Frank Fuentes, very live. And the third spot I put Electric Girl of the Sylvia Gregory barn. A decent little filly. This condition fits her nicely. As her last start of the year, she did hit her non-3 mark. Gets Ryan Pacheco, an underrated rider here at Hastings. Yep. 6-2-4 for me in the third. On to the fourth, Maiden, 5,000, 3-year-olds and up boys. Field of 6. I'm going to the 4, Fast Stop. This horse took a fast stop from Maiden 30 in LA to Maiden 5 here in Hastings Park. He's an awesome, again, out of a Stormcat mare. The breeding could not be better. Top connections, Anita Bolton, Amadeo Perez, owner Bob Chima. Good to see him back in the owner line here at Hastings. He's had some extremely nice horses at Hastings over the years. Horses like True Metropolitan and Dancing All-Star. Good to see him back. Have some horses at Hastings. I got 4, Fast Stop on top. If this horse is anything at all, if he's okay at all, if he's 90%, 80%, he wins the money. In the second spot, I put Boots Gray, a horse was a bit of a bridesmaid last year. 12 starts, he's got a second, 4 thirds. Always seems to hit the board. This field doesn't do a lot to scare me.
I know it's not a tough race.
Yeah, and in the third spot I put Scrollwork. Was running for Dino last year. Was privately purchased by the Frank Barrowby barn. Frankie can have him ready, and I guess Jason Rodriguez. I got 4, 6, and 3 in the fourth.
Yeah, I agree with the 4-horse Fast Stop for the reason you mentioned. If the horse can run it all, it's got to win the race. And I think the connections have put the horse through spring training. The horse should be able to run, and it's kind of an abbreviated work tab, a little alarming there. You might want to take a peek at the horse in the paddock, but Amadeo riding for Anita Bolton, that's a big plus, and I have to take the horse on top. If the horse doesn't win, I don't mind the 1 horse. Your wish is my command for Charlene Miller, horse that had a lot of inside draws, seemed to get stuffed down in the end. It wasn't quite fast enough to get the lead. Now it gets the inside again. But at least it's only 6 horses. Hopefully it can get out at some point. But the work tab seems to be really good. This horse seems to be traveling way better than it was last year. The works were nowhere near as good last spring when this horse came into the year kind of late, kind of didn't get started till the middle of the season. So nice to know that at least the horse is coming in on an even playing field. It makes it a little easier for the horse. But I just think this horse didn't get the best of goes last year. Starts fresh, good works, give the horse a shot. And I put the 2-horse Near Arctic Dancer for Teddy Hurd for third. Horse that does have a run at Emerald Downs. I know didn't do a whole lot of running that day, but did miss the break. But at least it has a start, and that's a positive. So I went 4, 1, and 2. It's the 4 for me for sure, and then the 1 definitely an easy second. And then it's anyone for third, but I went 4, 1, and 2. On to the 5th race. Got a maiden allowance here for 3 and up, going 6 panels. Kick off the pick 4. I ended up on the 1-horse, Qatar's Pearl. I love to take these 4- and 5-year-olds over the 3-year-olds. And this horse has been running at Santa Anita. I've been off for a couple of months now, but those races at Santa Anita for maiden 40 are pretty comparable to here, or maybe even tougher than a maiden allowance here at Hastings. Works are good for a top outfit, and that's enough for me to take the horse. Once again, I'm stealing your rider here, Amadeo Perez. Going to take him. Put the 9-horse Prince Galovic in for second, freshly turned 3-year-old. Nice run first time out, despite didn't get the best of trips in that 3.5 furlong race. At least got a little bit of experience out of that, but the works are excellent for good connections as well. And Sal Gonzalez Jr. rides, and I put the 2-horse Spirit River for Charlene Miller. I got a lot of Charlene. Charlene's going to have a good weekend. I got her in for third. Richard Hamill rides for Rob Scott. This horse ran some, I thought, better than looked races last year, and this one too has some good works, and once again is a 4-year-old, and I like them older horses against the 3-year-olds early in the year. So I went 1, 9, and 2.
I went to the 7th three-way trade. This is only third start of his life. He is a 3-year-old coming out of the Troy Taylor barn. Gets Quincy Welsh, who had a winner here opening day. He ran second in a stake to Deviance last year, the second start of his life. He's a Grand Slam. They paid good money for him at Keeneland. This is a horse that I thought a lot of last year, and now he gets into a maiden race. He is against older horses, as you mentioned. That will hurt him a bit, but I like three-way trade a lot. I put Goliath out of the Dino Condolinos barn. I know Dino was quite high on this horse last year. Frank obviously would have had his choice between the two Dino Condolinos runners, as he did ride London last year too. He sticks with Goliath. Both of his races last year, he got in a fair bit of trouble. With a bit of a clean trip, I think Goliath can be right there. And the third spot, I put Qatar's Perlin. He's obviously the horse, as you mentioned. He's been running at Santa Anita in those maiden 40s. The only thing I don't like about him is that 14-0 mark.
He's got 3 inches of form on him, and that's not good. When you have 3 inches of form when you're a maiden, that's never a good thing.
That's what scares me a little bit.
It's got a lot of SA on it, Santa Anita, which is good, and that
obviously
can contribute to losses.
A little bit softer here. 7-3-1 for me in the 5th. On the 6th, maiden 12-5, fillies and mares. I have gone to the 5 on the edge. Pete Gregory's horse. Another one was running for maiden 20 at Phoenix. Got beat a neck and a nose. His 2 starts down there. Obviously has a little bit of talent. Been running. Drops in here for 12-5. Amadeo Perez, a name we mentioned here a lot.
See how Officer Mary does too in the opener on Saturday, because that's the horse that beat On the Edge.
Exactly.
At Turf Paradise last time.
Exactly. So On the Edge for me. Second spot, Find Your Beach out of the Trace McCarthy barn. Horse that just got beat a head in its last start last year for maiden 12-5. Trace McCarthy, a top conditioner here at Hastings. She can definitely have one ready. And in third spot, Storm Quality. Charlene Miller, there's your horse.
And she's got a live horse. The horse must be going good.
Just got beat by Two Pump. There's another one that you can watch.
Aggressively spotted, 12-5.
Very aggressively spotted. Yep, this is a horse that just got beat ahead by Two Pump last year. Two Pump, I have one of my picks yesterday, was running very good at Golden Gate. I have her in third spot. 5, 1, and 3 for me in the 6th.
I just see a lot of speed in this race. I see the 1 horse going, the 2 Jubiliana. I see the 3 horse Storm Quality, the 5 On the Edge. I see a bit of contention for the early lead, which is why I'm going to lean to the 7 horse Portray Your Vision, who ran some decent races last year for the Mavens. And Keishan Balgobin rides.
He had a winner opening day. He's a kid to keep an eye on too.
Yep, and the works are. I like the work tab. I just like the running style of the filly. I just think she's going to get some favors with the way the race sets up. She's only in for 12-5. It's not a brutal spot to be. And as I said, I wish it was 6.5, but we'll have to try and catch him at 6 furlongs. But I'm going to try her on top, Portray Your Vision. Put the 3 horse Storm Quality in for second, as you mentioned. Charlene Miller's runner, who was on the Lasix program. Just the 1 run going 3.5 furlongs, but it was a good one. And the work tab's been excellent. But a little leery to see the horse in for 12-5, perhaps. Might have given the horse a shot for maiden allowance, but I guess maybe figure they have better 3-year-old filly maidens. And I put the 5 horse On the Edge in for third. Got Fitness Edge, and I could easily put this horse on top. But it's just strictly a price thing. The only reason I put Portray Your Vision is this horse will be a better number, and Storm Quality and On the Edge will be the ones taking the brunt of the money. But I went 7, 3, and 5. I think you probably need all 3 of those in your pick 4s. So 7, 3, 5 for me in the 6th. On the 7th race, an allowance event, our feature race of the day. Open allowance going 6 furlongs. Got a field of 8 in here. I ended up on the 7 horse Commander. Not really an off-the-charts pick, but probably not at his best at going 6 furlongs. It might even be a horse you want to try and beat, but he's a cool horse, and I like the outside draw. If this horse drew the 2-hole, maybe I'd try and beat him going 6, because he's not that flashy away from there. But going 6 and having an outside draw this horse can kind of gallop up, and even if it has to go 3 wide the whole race, he might be good enough.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Just keep his legs moving, keep him running. Yeah.
Not get covered up. 'Cause that's what happens when you're not fast enough. When you have the 1 and 2 hole going 6, you get in behind horses, and you're at the mercy of what the front runners are in front of you are like. If they keep going, you're fine.
Horse,
But otherwise, you might be getting stopped and impeded. So, but I do like Commander to win it. The 1 horse Hope Seeker. I'm not giving up on this. It's a nice horse. This horse ran by far his poorest race of the year when he got beat by Step Up for the Money in the CTHS sales stake. For whatever reason, the horse did not show up. This was not the same horse that ran second behind title contender in the BC Derby.
Yeah.
And this horse has been training well, blew out nicely on Friday. This horse, I think, is very live. I'm gonna give Hope Seeker, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse win. He's a nice colt. He kind of got a lot thrown at him. He broke his maiden, and then he tried the non-twos, and then he was rating stakes the rest of the year, and he actually stood up to quite a bit of it, and he had a bit of a break in there as well. But I like the freshening coming in. I wish this was a non-2, but I mean, he fits in a non-2 allowance. But I think he's good enough to win a race like this. And I put the 2 horse Wildcat, cool horse for Wayne Oliver and Rob Fioravento and the Cowboys and Indians stable. And I just think this horse is live as well. Just the wrong distance, but I think the horse will benefit. I wish it was 6.5, then maybe it could make some impression. But 6 furlongs with not a lot of pace in here. Might be tough for him to win it, but I think he'll be on the board.
I agree with you. I went with Commander. He made just a hair under $500,000. He's been a top horse in Western Canada for, it feels like, forever now. Super tough against Quincy Welsh. I like the way Quincy Welsh rides, a top rider from Alberta.
Like
silk. He comes out here to ride him on Sunday. Commander looks like the horse for me. As you mentioned, 3/4 maybe isn't his best distance, but he has won short races at Northlands before.
I remember George Espadilla went like 5 wide the whole race in Edmonton. Didn't matter. He just won.
It's like a bicycle race. He was just up there in the high
I know. He was.
But
he can win sprint.
That's why you said like the outside post. Just keep him moving. If he
had the 2 hole, I wouldn't care for maybe because he might get covered up. But the outside post is good. He can, even if he has to go 3 or 4 wide. It's all right.
Just keep running. Yeah. The second spot, I put our good friend Wayne Oliver's Wildcat in here. This is a horse who's 14 for 20 lifetime in the money. He always gives an honest effort, and he always seems to hit the board. Got Wildcat in the second spot. You have him in the third spot. I put him in the second spot. In the third spot, I put Franzer's Finest, another good friend of the Derby, Praven Sorensen's horse. He gets Keyshawn Balgobin, a kid that we told you last week, one to watch this year.
Kid. He's good.
Yeah, and what I like about Keyshawn is he's absolutely fearless. He'll go up the rail. He'll go 3 holes. God bless him. That's good old horse, good old race riding. I like that. Franzer's Finest, another one with a pretty good lifetime mark, 15 of 27 in the money. Another one was running against tough horses last year, Liberty Cap and Herbie D. Only got beat 2.5 lengths by Herbie D when he faced him.
I know he had some tough rivals last year.
So I don't mind Franzer's Finest.
6 is my only concern with him, but he could come running.
Yeah, I threw him in. I went on class, not distance in this race. I go 7, 2, 6. In the 7th, should have been a stake race. It's an allowance race. On to the 8th, claiming 5,000 non-winners of 4 for older horses. I went to the 6, Mary's App. Unfortunately named Mary's App, a boy named Mary's App.
Poor guy.
Shamrock Racing and Jim Brown, they've been together for years. They've had a lot of success together. They've had a lot of these type horses, these solid, lower end kind of horses that just win a fair amount of races. Coming in fresh off an allowance race at Turf Paradise, goes into the 5, non-winners of 4 category, which fits him like a glove, and he's been running. He's got the race in under his belt, so I like that. He gets Amadeo Perez, which we mentioned a lot. 6 horse for me. The second spot, where'd I go? This Bruce for you, out to the Mel Snow horse. This Bruce for you. Won his last start last year by 3 under Antonio Race. That was a non-3. Mel Snow's horses, as we mentioned earlier, have been running well. They've come out of the gates good this year. He gets Quincy Welsh, a top rider. This Bruce for you. And in the third place, I put 3-point play of the Patty Leaney barn. A horse that took the drop down to the non-3 level and was very competitive. He got that condition over with. And then when he went to open claiming against, yes, he's trouble and Funny Face Arkhill, he found it a little tougher. But now that non-4 category, it suits him very well. Patty Leaney and Ryan Pacheco team up. I went 6, 8, and 3.
Yeah,
6, 8, and 2, sorry.
I didn't see a bunch of speed in here, so I'm going to try the 1 horse, Veni Vidi Vici.
Yes.
Quite like this horse.
Yeah.
he leaned on the 3.5 furlong races throughout the year last year, and then finally went 6.5 in September. Got hooked on the pace and ran into some good horses, though. Yes, he's trouble. Repeat winner, One's Own Accord and Mull Over. That was a tough $5,000 or $4,000 race. So this is, I think, come up easier pace-wise and actually class-wise. The works are good. I like the final work in 1:14 and 2 out of the gate. This horse is prepping to run 6 furlongs, and I just think with the rail, speed's doing well on Sunday. Don't be afraid to take this horse, because I think Benny Vici is not just a 3.5 furlong horse. He can run 6 or 6.5.
He's kind of horse too. If he gets alone on the lead, you can say he can get very brave and get tough.
I think he will. I don't know who's going to go with him. You look around and I don't see a bunch of speed in here. Maybe vying for glory. But I put the 3-horse Cross Rail Accord in for second for Mike Anderson. Pretty consistent horse last year. This horse probably a little better going long, but the horse can sprint. Might take a nice trip just in behind the leaders, and I agree with you. 2-horse 3-point play. I have him in for third. He ran against some tougher horses last year and performed well. And also the 8, Disproves for You. I would put that one in for fourth, as you mentioned. Off a full year, but still, as you mentioned, Mel can have one ready. And this horse is maybe a little better than a $5,000 horse, but we'll see. But I went to the 1-horse, the speedy Benny Vici, to win the finale. I went 1, 3, and 2. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday program. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our selections.
There we are. Mike is always up first.
Sunday, May 4th. And race number 1, I went to the 3, Castrati. Mike Anderson, 3, 2, and 1. Race number 2, I went to the 5, Maida Vale, over the 1 and 4. Looking for a Jim Brown exactor here. Race number 3, I went to the 2, the Speedy Victorious Spirit, hoping for a wire-to-wire performance. 2, 3, 5. Race number 4, the 4, Fast Stop. 4, 1, and 2. Race number 5, the 1, Qatar's Pearl, and what should be a very good betting race. A nice maiden allowance here. I went 1, 9, and 2. Race number 6, the 7, Portray Your Vision. For the Mavens, I went 7, 3, and 5 in the 6th race. The 7th, the feature, the nice allowance event, went to the classy number 7, Commander, over the 1, Hope Seeker, and the 2, Wilo Cat. And then the 8th and final went to the 1, Benny Vici, 1, 3, 2 for me in the Sunday finale.
And up next, my pick. There we go. In the first, I went 1, 2, 3. Hanrahan on top with the 2 and 3. In the second, I went with the tough old mare Scopa, number 6, over the 5 and the 4. In the third, I went to the 6, Uniqua, over the 2 and the 4. In the fourth, I agree with Mike on number 4, Fast Stop, over the 6 and the 3. In the fifth, I went to the 7, Three-Way Trade, over the 3 and the 1. In the sixth, I went to the 5, On the Edge, over the 1 and the 3. In the 7th, I agree with Mike on number 7, Commander, over 2 and 6. And the nightcap, the 8th, I went to the 6, Mary's App, over the 8 and the 2.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. We look forward to seeing everyone at the track this weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Kentucky Derby weekend is always a great time. Next live card at Hastings will be next Saturday, so we do have Saturday and Sunday racing next weekend. And once again, it should be a lot of fun. We do have simulcasting here at the Derby all week, so if you're feeling free on a lunch on Monday or Tuesday, come on in. Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. Of course, lots of simulcasting here at the Derby Bar and Grill. They always have lunch and dinner specials, so come on out and take advantage of it. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.